That's the story in the United States. Let's take you to India next, where Apple has opened its first retail store as the tech giant tries to grab a bigger slice of the world's second largest smartphone market. The CEO, Tim Cook, opened the flagship store in Mumbai, with a second outlet set to open in New Delhi on Thursday. Chinese and South Korean manufacturers dominate India's smartphone market, with Apple holding just under 5%. Apple has also been increasing its manufacturing presence in India. Well, let's talk now to Dan Ives, Managing Director and Senior Equity Research Analyst at Wedbush Securities. Dan, good to see you. Apple has been in India, I think, for about 20 years or so, but working via authorized resellers. So how come they're opening their own shops?
Look, I think this was the time. I mean, they feel that they could significantly expand their presence there. It's really Samsung, lower-cost Chinese players. About $6 billion of revenue come from India. It's called 1.5%. We think that could be upwards of $20 billion by 2025. This was the right time for them to make that strategic move.
What strategic importance does India carry for Apple?
Well, I think it's twofold. I mean, one, production. You're starting to see more diversification on iPhone, specifically on some of the low to mid-end ones. Into India, I think Foxconn is going to build out there pretty significantly. And that could be about 10% of iPhone production. But a lot of it's demand. I mean, this has really been the market that they've tried to crack. We're talking about, especially in the middle market, a significant opportunity in terms of the Indian market. I think now is the time to strike competitively, put a sort of fence around a potential install base.
And for those of us who are not experts in this field, like you, I mean, what is China's current role in Apple's supply chain system and manufacturing?
I mean, China's the hearts and lungs of the Apple story, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. I think for Apple, I mean, they're essentially right now taking a page out of the China playbook in terms of what they're doing in India, from both a demand and production perspective. I think it's a smart poker move by Cook and Cupertino, and I think that continues to sort of be the focus going forward.
Dan, good to talk to you. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks,
Dan Ives, Managing Director and Senior Equity Research Analyst at Wedbush Securities.